Oh my fucking god. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to some more XDEFIANT. So in case you still haven't read the title, we just surpassed over 10,000 kills with just SMGs on XDEFIANT. Over here on tracker.gg, or you could just look up XDEFIANT tracker for yourself, you can scroll down and you can see we actually have over 11,000 kills with just SMGs on XDEFIANT, which is above any other class. As you can see, our assault rifles, we have about 7,000, so pretty big difference between the two. So for today's video, I have an insane P90 game where we managed to drop 60 kills in a team deathmatch. And during that game, I'm going to talk to you guys about everything I've learned while using SMGs. And compared to other first-person shooter games on the market, XDEFIANT handles the SMG class a lot different compared to other games. So I have a lot to say, and some tips for you guys as well. And before we get into a game, if you guys enjoy these type of videos, make sure to let me know down below by hitting the like button. And if you're new, subscribe. I upload basically every day with tons of different content, anywhere from tips, good gameplay, live commentary, even other games. So I'd love to have you part of the journey, as we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Alright, getting into the game, like I said in the background, we have an insane 60 kill game on Team Deathmatch. Probably my PR for kills in Team Deathmatch. Obviously, I've gotten more in other modes, but for Team Deathmatch, 60 is a pretty high number. So I think that's the most I've gotten so far. So enjoy that. Not exactly what the video's about, though. So let's talk about SMGs. Now, obviously, I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing the MP7s, probably some vectors in the public matches. I've seen a ton of them too. Trust me, I get it. They are extremely annoying. But in general, it does feel like the P90 and the MP5 are just as good. Especially in certain scenarios, I find myself using the P90 a lot more in public matches compared to the other three. I think really just for the magazine size, it helps out a ton. Plus, the gun kills just as fast as the MP7. But overall, in this game, it feels like every SMG can excel in certain situations. For example, for me, I've been using pretty much only the P90 in pubs. And as you can see in this gameplay, it's not been letting me down. I mean, this thing is a beast. I know the MP7 is a fan favorite, but the P90 kills just as fast, and with the extra magazine size, this thing is just a pub stopper. And for the other SMGs, the Vector is by far and away the best SMG, especially for this map that I'm playing on, but other maps like the small maps like Echelon, the new map Rockefeller that's going to come out, that'll be the Vector's map. The Vector is insane too, so don't get that twisted. And then for the MP5, this has got to be one of the most underrated guns in the game, in general, not even just SMGs. Obviously, it's the most underrated SMG, not a lot of people have been using it, but personally, I've put a lot of time into this thing. I'm telling you guys right now, it's just as good as the other ones. For the entire SMG class, it actually has the best range, and I find myself mapping people sometimes. Now, here's the thing though, right? All SMGs are balanced, right? But compared to the other guns, personally, I've noticed, especially in ranked, ARs are the kings of this game. I'm not sure exactly what the reason is. Some of it probably has to do with the range in this game. At certain points, it gets capped off super hard for SMGs to a point where you really can't even get a kill. And when you're versus an AR at range, they're gonna 5 to 6, maybe 7 shot you at most. You're just gonna get shredded. Obviously in pubs, it does feel like SMGs are king, but I'm telling you guys right now, assault rifles, especially on certain maps, like Meltdown, Times Square especially, there's certain maps in this game where you just can't take out an SMG, and you're pretty much just stuck with an AK, ACR. If you're not, you're gonna get screwed. So yeah, for an overview of the entire SMG class, they're all extremely strong. Like I said, they all excel in certain situations. There's not one that's best, right? Obviously the MP7 is running rampant, it's the favorite, everyone likes it, but I'm telling you guys right now, P90 is disgusting, the Vector is insane, and that MP5 can mad people. But overall, in high tier gameplay, I will bet you guys you're going to see a lot more assault rifles than you will SMGs, especially when Pro League comes out. When it comes to attachments for SMGs, for me, a must use on every single one, no exceptions, is using the barrel extender and the chrome line barrel. Like I mentioned a few minutes earlier, the range on SMGs in this game is terrible, especially when you compare it to other games like Call of Duty, Apex, but Apex doesn't have any fall off, so let's just compare it to Call of Duty. Not the greatest comparison, Call of Duty. But in this game, the damage drop off is pretty insane, so getting that extra 30%, in my opinion, it is necessary. I know that the chrome line gives you a little bit of movement speed negatives, but trust me guys, you need that 20%, I promise you. Every single class I use with SMGs, zero exceptions. Make sure you have these two attachments. And then for other attachments, the next most important thing I find for SMGs is the strafe speed. The strafe speed in this game, you can go super fast, and in my opinion, it is super overpowered when you put attachments on it, especially on the SMGs, as the strafe speed is already quick as it is, so putting an extra 20%, 15% on that SMG, you're flying around the map. So for me, pretty much on every SMG I believe, besides the P90, I don't think you can get it, I use the lightweight stock. And then for others, whichever you can get this attachment on, besides the Vector because I use a sight on it, but for the MP7 and the MP5, I use the small vert front rail. This gives you another 10% strafe speed, so with those two combined, it feels pretty insane. I mean, you're zooming around the map, it feels like no one can hit you. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is how you should be approaching your fights with an SMG. Now, like I said, the range on SMGs isn't exactly great, so there's certain distances where you really just shouldn't be taking a fight. With every SMG, there's different cap-off distances, so put time into them, and you'll figure out what the distance is before you can stop taking a fight. For me, like I said, I put a lot of time into the SMGs. I have 3 of them already maxed out at 400, so for those, I pretty much know which fights I can be taking and which ones I can't because of the damage fall-off. When you find yourself on a bigger map and you still want to use an SMG, that's fine, you can make it work, especially in the public matches. The only thing is I recommend flanking a lot. Taking straight up fights, you're going to lose a lot of them, especially on the bigger maps like I said. Versing an AR, you're just going to get melted. In this game, you're going to get 5 to 6 shotted when you're going to have to hit 10, maybe even 11, 12, 13 shots just to kill someone at certain ranges with an SMG. So, like I said, try to flank around, shoot people inside, shoot in the back, figure out your routes, and figure out your time. That's really your biggest focus with the SMG. Obviously on the smaller maps, maybe like Pueblito, Arena, obviously, Echelon, there's some other small ones where you can frontline with an SMG and you can do fine, but other ones maybe like Noodleplex, Zoo, Mayday, etc. you might find yourself having a little bit of a harder time. Alright, and the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to SMGs is just the movement overall. Now, I'm sure you guys have died to a bunny hopping demon with an MP7 just trying his absolute nuts off for $0 in a public match. But, listen guys, I promise, you don't have to do that and you can be just as effective with your movement. For me, the most important thing is cameraing people. If you don't know what that is, I promise you do, because it's happened to you a ton of times in XDEFIANT. Cameraing someone is basically just when you jump around a corner and you get a few frames of when you can see them before they can see you. This gives you a huge advantage, especially in games like this, where the gunfights are super quick. Getting those first few frames is a huge, huge advantage. So cameraing, all you have to do is jump once around a corner, and that's it. So if you can, when you're just turning corners, instead of just running around the corner, maybe hit a little jump and turn at the same time. Practice that, and you'll go a long way, especially with the movement in this game. Like I said, B-hopping, it's not necessary. It can even mess you up at times. For me, I don't like spamming it too much. It feels like it just makes my aim go all over the place sometimes. I'd rather just hit the one jump around the corner, and camera that person. Alright though, that is pretty much everything I got for SMGs. Like I said, overall, I don't think they're as good as ARs, especially when it comes to ranked. High level gameplay, I think the ARs are going to be king in this game. But SMGs, they're definitely a ton of fun. Personally, I'm an SMG guy, so I'm going to keep using them until the day I die. But other than that, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Appreciate you guys if you're all the way to the end. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Later.